guys, I'm here with a full review about this Xega wireless solar security camera. It has even built-in 360 degrees PTZ function. We have even two-way audio, so it has built-in microphone and speaker. Comes with a solar panel which is charging the large built-in battery, so you'll probably never have to manually recharge the camera again. It works with 2.4G Wi-Fi. That's what you want, because 5G has only very short wireless range, has a higher resolution of 2K, and works with the free and very well known unbox app. Of course, has motion detection, notification, and the camera has even a built-in light for colorful night vision. So I'm going to take it out of the box, show you everything what you get, how to install, how to set it up, how to connect, and then I'm going to show you some live footage from day and night. Everything comes nicely protected. Get even some drilling templates, detailed instructions, manual in English, German, French, Italian and Spanish. And here's already the solar panel, decent size. In the back we have standard tripod mount, and it comes with a very long pre-attached standard USB-C cable. And so here we have the camera. I would say it has a really solid build. We have these antennas which we can adjust for optimal Wi-Fi reception on both of the sides. And the camera can be rotated with the app to the left and the right. And so with the wide angle we have a 360 degrees view. And with the app we can also adjust it up and down. That's the maximum up. Not totally up, but a little bit more than straight. And we can rotate it down, so you can see fully down or even a little bit more. We have the built-in lights for the night vision. We have the camera, we have the infrared sensor, and of course microphone and speaker built in. We have the two openings, one down here for the TF card and the reset button. And up here we have the connection to the power, so you can remove the whole thing. So we have access to the on-off and also to the charging port. But of course, when we are using it, we want to close it and are then only using the dedicated opening for the USB-C plug. So it's then nicely waterproof. Regarding the mount, we don't have a dedicated mount for the camera. The mount is actually already built in. So maybe it's a little bit more difficult to add a screw, but we don't have to be worried about a separate mount. And as you can see, we can go straight through it. So you have full access from the front. That's really nice. And the other screws you could pre-mount and then just hang in the camera. Also good solution, I would say. But for the solar panel, we have a dedicated mount. You get also the screws and anchors for the camera and even a dedicated charging cable, but it's actually not needed. Maybe if you want to give a decent pre-charge before you put it out, but after that you don't have to deal with charging cables anymore. And so let's see how easy it is to connect to the app. And so of course first you want to add microSD card. By the way, microSD card is not included. I highly recommend to use at least 32 gigabytes. Good brand, at least class 10 microSD card. And so we push it here inside like that. Just push it deep inside until you hear the clicking. We leave the flap open for a possible reset. Then we open this flap here because we have to turn it on.
The camera is now ready to begin pairing.
Okay, sounds good. By the way, I'm doing here everything without using the instructions manual to see how easy this is to connect, how intuitive this is. If you have it not already installed, you can scan the QR code in the instructions manual, but I'm using it already for some other cameras. And so we can add a device here with the plus or down here, set up Wi-Fi device, power it on. We have done this already. Click on yes. Click on next, enter the Wi-Fi information for the router. Has nothing to do with the camera. It's just normal Wi-Fi information from your router which you're using all the time. Click on configure device. By the way, of course, you have to choose a 2.4G network or a combined 2.45G network. That's also possible. And make sure that you're already connected to the same 2.4G Wi-Fi network with your phone before you start connecting. After the connection is established and you have added your camera to the app, you can use any kind of connection. You can even use 3G, 4G, 5G from anywhere in the world.
The camera is now ready to begin pairing.
So I click on continue.
Pairing information received.
Okay. So it has transmitted now all the information just by holding the QR code in front of the camera. So looks like we have a success here. I click here on the camera and so it looks like we have a live view. I hold my hand in front of the camera. You can see it has a little bit of lag, but just a little bit. That's absolutely normal, absolutely standard for such a camera, nothing to worry. And so I'm going to mount it outside and then we'll go from there. Yeah, installation was super easy, straightforward, absolutely no problem. And so I'm here back in the app and you can see it's well connected and 100% charged thanks to the really nice solar panel. We have already a couple of functions here in the overview. By the way, you can also add more than one of these cameras here. Of course, there's probably no limit for that. So the easiest thing is to click on the image and then we get the live view. We have a couple of options. It's still in the night view. I can change that to daylight, full color. Let's make this also a little bit larger here so you can see the really good quality. It's important to choose for HD. If the network allows for that, you can see really nice, good quality. We can also zoom in here, check a few details. You can see really good quality. We can already use the PTZ function here directly in the image and move the camera around, as you can see, really nice all the way to the left side. You can see how far we can go, and same thing back to the right side. By the way, we can also adjust the speed of the camera. This is just medium speed. On high speed it's even much faster, but I just wanted to show you the whole thing. Now let's go back and we can go fully up. That's the maximum, and we can go fully down, pretty much straight down or even more. So let's go back to the original position where we have a nice overview and we can see if somebody is coming in through the gate. By the way, here we can start recording right away from this screen, and when we stop it will be saved to the album. We can also make a snapshot from here, and when we click here we can start talking to people so they can hear you and you can hear them. And so let's see what it has been recording. Here we are in the cloud option. The cloud of course is not free, but you can get a free 30-day trial. So here we are in the cloud version. When we click here on the right side, we can see what's recorded on the microSD card. That's the card which you have been inserting. So it's depending on the size, how long it will keep your footage. If you're using a large microSD card, it can last for weeks, months, or even years. It will only be overwritten when it's full. There are two disadvantages with the microSD card. First thing is that we have such network wake-ups where it's recording 2 or 3 minutes just because you are starting the app. That's not in the cloud version. And another advantage of the cloud version is that you have multi-select, and then you can download or share multiple clips at once. That's something which we don't have from the microSD card. But other than that, I don't see any difference. And so no matter where we are, we can click on the date and then we can see where we had some activity. And so we can also see that we had some days without any activity. So for example, we can go back to the day when I've installed it, and you can see it has detected everything what I've been doing. I've been cutting back some bushes here and then walking around here a little bit, and everything was really nicely recorded. It didn't miss me any time. Of course I can make this also a little bit larger so you can see how good the quality really is. That's really nice, wonderful colors, really sharp. It's not comparable to a normal powered camera of course, but I would say for a solar powered battery operated camera it's on a very high level. And it has been detecting me very early, as you can see, just right when I came through the gate here. During the night it needs a little bit more time, but every time it caught me nicely. But especially during the day it's absolutely awesome. And what I also noticed here, by the way, that's a sound recording test, so you can hear what I've been talking. Microphone test 1 2 3 4 5. Microphone test 1 2 3 4. So I would say the microphone is on a really good level, definitely nothing to complain. And what we can also see here, I mean, this is a very, very difficult situation for most cameras when we have some shade and still some sun, and we have some moving branches, trees and so on. And so a lot of cameras will produce then many false alerts, which I really can't see here. So the camera is doing an absolutely awesome job in this situation where it's super difficult. Then we can see that a little bit later. Yeah, here it was totally dark, and you can see it caught me a little bit later, but still early enough to have me visible. And this is with the white light illumination. So you can see me also coming from the left side. That's the white light which the camera is emitting. So you can see the white light which makes the videos colorful is super strong, because here it's totally dark and all the light is only coming from this camera. But of course you can also choose black and white. It's also doing a great job on black and white, as you can see, still everything visible. So if you're close to a neighbor, maybe don't want to disturb your neighbor with bright light, then you can use the infrared black and white night vision. Of course, everything more responsive with the cloud, but still usually when we have pretty good Wi-Fi connection, we can still have really good performance also from the microSD card. So let's check here some footage from the microSD card. I click on play and you can see it starts playing also super fast. That's pretty impressive. I haven't seen that in the past for many battery operated surveillance cameras, that the microSD card footage is playing so fast, so responsive, without any lags. Of course, we have also some settings. We have the storage management, where we can activate recording from the cloud and from the microSD card. Always highly recommended to do a format after you add the microSD card to the camera. Then we can choose from night vision mode. We have the normal mode with the normal daylight, or we have the black and white during the night. But there's no automatic mode, so you have to decide what you want. If you go with black and white, it will also be black and white during the day. That's something which you have to know, at least this is as far as I can see here. Then we have the activity detection in 3 different levels. But what we have here, what's really awesome, that's the alarm area. Also with an explanation, which is great, because a lot of cameras are not giving such explanation, and then it's difficult to use. So it's only detecting alerts here in the red marked area. So I can show you that live here. When we click here, it will mark the whole area. When we click here, it will eliminate all the alerts. So the best thing is to fill everything up and then use the eraser tool here to eliminate all possible false alerts, especially in this area where we have moving parts like trees, branches, these things. You can also adjust the angle here again. Then we confirm down here. And so from now on, we will have only alerts in this red area. That's exactly what we want. We can also add a schedule. For example, if you're expecting some people and you don't want to record them, cloud video duration. You can set a device alarm, but of course not recommended when you're close to neighbors. LED indicator on the camera. That's a blue light which you can see, but you can turn it off, of course. I personally have it on so everybody can see there's a camera there. We have the volume settings. By the way, there's also a second page here where we have the PTZ function and the zooming, and we can adjust the speed. You can see, can put it on high. So we can really move super fast from left to right and right to left and up and down. Of course, always depending on how good the network connection is. What's really amazing, how good the charge has been for this camera. I think I added it with 80% yesterday, and now when I started recording it was already at 100%. Of course, you can also share the camera with your friends, and from here you can zoom in. Of course, I also wanted to give you some kind of a long-term experience feedback, and from here back almost 1 week later. and you can see everything is still working perfectly. Also regarding the false alerts, still exactly as on day one, and we had a huge rain in between. It was very strong rain, and it didn't affect the camera not a bit, so it looks perfectly waterproof to me, very reliable. I've already been testing a lot of surveillance cameras with the unbox app, and this was definitely the best one, by far most reliable. That's very important. I've seen some cameras on unbox which were totally unreliable, but this one much better. Maybe still not perfect. I mean, there are still the two things which we have. When we start the app, we still have the network activation recording, and there's also no way to save the camera position, which we have with some other apps, but that's not a problem with the camera. That's just something which is not available with this app, but maybe on a later time they will add it. I don't know about that, but again, has nothing to do with the camera. It's just an app thing, and regarding this app, was the best surveillance camera I've tested here on the unbox by far. So if you're interested, I'll put down the link to the Amazon listing down into the description, so you can check it out and order one for you if you like it. And I hope I've been able to help you a little bit with this video. If you have any questions or comments, just write to the comment section below, and I'm always happy to talk about these things. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.